This couch is actually quite comfy. Hi, my name is Sibu and let's get comfortable. Welcome to my channel. This channel is called StillSibu. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, also welcome. Thank you so much for coming back. And you're gonna find this video useful, so stick around. Dilemma. So you've been sticking to all of your health goals and you've been eating healthily, you've been exercising regularly, and you're kind of in the rhythm of things, and you know you're hitting all your milestones. And then what happens? You're assigned on an away job, or you have to find yourself living in a hotel for a prolonged period of time. That is not the ideal situation, but just because it's not ideal doesn't mean that you have to ditch your health goals and abandon all the healthy habits you've built. So in this video, what I'm going to do is share with you a couple of tips that I've learned with staying away from home and still being able to be healthy. So let's get into the video. To be honest, it actually is really difficult to maintain healthy habits when you're working away from home. Like in my experience, when you're working from when you're an auditor, like I'm an auditor, when you're working away from home, it's so easy to just get into like the habit of being on some, I don't have an option, I have to eat unhealthily, I have to eat this type of food, and I can't exercise, and kind of just ditch your normal healthy habits. But there are ways and there are things that you can totally do in order to maintain your healthy habits. So I'm going to break this video up into a couple of segments. So I'm going to talk a bit about moving your body and exercise, and I'm going to talk about food, which is critical, and then I am going to talk about just mental health habits. So habits that they underline the whole healthy thing. Like if you don't have them in check, it's unlikely that you're going to maintain your healthy habits. So let's go. First thing you want to do to set yourself up for success is to, if you have the option, pick a hotel that has a gym and a hotel that has a safe place to walk. Those are the two forms of exercises that you can do when you're at a hotel. So when you're staying at a hotel for a prolonged period of time. One thing that I like to do is making sure that I check the amenities of the hotel that I'll be staying at ahead of the time, and confirming that they definitely have working gym equipment and the gym is open at the time that I'm going to need it. And if I want to take a walk, is the surroundings of the hotel safe enough? So that's just a quick Google search to equip yourself in order to be healthy when you're staying at the hotel, if you're staying for a long period of time. If you're not going to be at a hotel, or like you're staying at an Airbnb or whatever, you can also just do certain things. So like if you know that you like exercising and you want to be active during the stay, then you can already put in on your kind of YouTube search, you can put in and save up some exercises that you can do while you're away. So kind of put in like a collection of exercises that you'll do at home and you can commit to those. So the biggest thing with exercise and just moving your body when you're staying away from home is to just plan ahead, like be proactive and commit to the things that you said that you're going to do. So if you said that you're going to walk for 30 minutes for 4 days while you're away, then just pick the days and commit to it and do it. There's nothing as empowering as setting goals for yourself and keeping your promises to yourself. So if you promised yourself that you're going to take a walk for 30 minutes a day for 4 days in the week, get to the hotel, come rain or sunshine, you said that you're going to do it, just do it. Do it. And I know that I make it sound simple, but it really is about being intentional and committing to the things that you said that you'll do in order to see success and to see those habits sticking in kind of your stay during the hotel stay or the Airbnb. And I keep referring to hotel because that's where I've been staying. I've been staying at hotels. Now the other things that you can do is, I've mentioned the YouTube videos where you can kind of do online exercises. You can also pack rope, so you can jump rope and say, I'm gonna do jump rope for, I don't know, 15 minutes in the day, whatever is conducive to your health goals and whatever you've set out for yourself, pick that one or a variety of exercises and do those. The other things that I like to incorporate in order to kind of get myself moving is I really like taking the steps. So if I'm staying on the second floor, I just tell myself, I'm not going to take the step. I'm not going to take the lift while I'm here unless I have bags. Like obviously on the day that I'm leaving and on the day that I'm arriving, I'll take the lift. But on other days, just take the steps. It adds to kind of your step count, you're moving your body. And usually what happens is when you're staying away from home as well, and you're away for work, the deadlines are tight, well, at least in my experience. So the deadlines are tight, you're having to work like long hours. It's likely that you're not getting in as much activity as you would if you were at home. So yeah, those are really, really simple ways to incorporate movement into your day. So be proactive, do those things ahead of time, and walk everywhere. Just every opportunity you get, walk. Get a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, walk and go make it yourself. Yeah, small things that you can incorporate into your daily habits. Now, the biggest thing and the thing that dribbles people the most is usually food. So when you want to stay healthy and you're staying away from home for a really long period, especially if you're staying at a hotel, the novelty of staying at a hotel and eating hotel food, eating takeout, it wears off very quickly. Like you can't keep, well, you can, but it doesn't make you feel really great if you eat like hotel food or you eat takeout the whole time that you're there. And so what you want to do is imitate as closely as possible the meals that you'd eat at home. So something that I really like doing, which I'm currently doing, is eating something that I would eat at home. So I'm currently eating a Sainsbury's wrap, which the cover I have ripped apart, but it basically is one of these wraps from Sainsbury's. And this, if I was at home, I would eat a wrap. Like I usually make wraps in the evenings, or like I'll make a salad, or I'll just, like make normal food. So I usually go to Sainsbury's and I grab like a couple of like quick meals. Sometimes they have salads as well, like really big bowl salads if you're keen on that. They also have soups if you want to have some soup. And I tend to buy like snacks or stuff that if I get hungry, then at least I'm getting my fruits and vegetables in. So I'll show you what I got this time. This is quite nice. It's the hoisin duck, I think it's called. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, got some pickled slaw, and I think I got 2 packets of these. I got pink pickled slaw and red pickled slaw. And yeah, this is just like getting my 5 a day in. And then I also got, let me just move this across. I also got some melon, so just normal fruits that are in a package. And it's even better if you can stay at a hotel that has a fridge. So like try when you're checking in to get a fridge in the room that you're staying at. And then finally I got apricots because these are nice and quick. So when you're feeling a bit like, and I got some water, sparkling water, because I really like that. But yeah, and then I got gum and stuff. But when you're feeling hungry and you're feeling a bit like peckish in the evenings, instead of buying something from like the vending machines, or maybe like buying another meal or grabbing one of the snacks that they usually keep at the hotel, which usually aren't that healthy and have a lot of sugar, you can just have some slaw or some fruits and apricots. Just make your life easier. You want to be healthy. You want to not step away from your rhythm, because it's still normal life. Just because you're staying at a hotel and you're working from a hotel doesn't necessarily mean you must abandon your health goals. I'll show you a bit later what I tend to do for dinner and other meals. I've been buying a lot from M&S and just kind of having the salads from there for dinner instead of having hotel meals. Now, the reason that I do this personally is because I sometimes find it hard to get food that is fitting to my dietary needs. So I'm very focused right now, at least in my health journey, on getting as much nutritionally dense food as possible. So I like having greens, I like having whole food and food that is cooked in the less processed way as possible. And so I really like incorporating those types of foods into my diet. I also am quite big on getting enough protein. I am currently on a plant-based diet, and so that means that I eat largely plant-based meals, and so I need to really be intentional about getting in sufficient nutrients and sufficient protein especially. And what tends to happen is that when you order plant-based meals on a restaurant menu, unfortunately, they just stay failing. They stay failing because you'll find that they just have a whole bunch of food, but it's majority carbs, or it's majority like everything else except protein, and they won't have like a proper protein source. So if I go to M&S, I know that I'll be able to pick out the salads that I want. And you can even pick out like 2 salads, because initially I was like picking one salad, like I was eating one salad at a time and finding that I'm not getting full. But pick out 2 salads. Like what I'm doing right now is I get a salad, like I'll get like a big bowl of salad, like a normal one, and then I'll get what they call like a 3 bean mix, and that's a lot of protein, and I'll just like kind of eat that on the side, or I'll add it in and kind of mix it up, and it is really just nutritious, and it is as close as possible, tongue twister, it is as close as possible to the meals that I would be eating at home, which makes me feel some kind of comfort in the sense that, you know, I'm still sticking to my healthy habits and nothing has changed. I'm just away from home and I'm allowing flexibility where I can. So yeah, that's good. And this, just as an add-on, does not mean that I can't enjoy food with like the people that I'm working with or whatever. It just means that I'm obviously just conscious of kind of what I'll be eating. So basically, in essence, after all of my waffle, what I'm trying to explain is that you can eat healthily even if you're away from home. So just being intentional about choosing the meals that are high in protein, because that's going to really keep you full, and that are high in fiber, because that also is going to keep you full. So protein is really essential, and I've spoken about protein a number of times on this channel, but it is the building blocks of your body, and so you really need to have sufficient protein. Make sure you're getting sufficient food in general, sufficient fats and sufficient carbohydrates. So yeah, enjoy your meals, but just eat in moderation and eat as close as possible to how you would eat at home. What often throws people off when eating away from home is hotel buffets. A hotel buffet can work to your advantage or against you. If you choose food that is minimally processed and is high in your essential nutrients, is high in micro and macronutrients, then you will be set to go. So you're aiming for foods that are high in fiber and that are kind of gonna fuel you and kind of start your day or end your day like really well. What you want to avoid at the hotel buffet is highly processed foods, so foods that are very high in sugar. So for instance, muffins and some cereal bars are really high in sugar. And what happens when you eat foods that are high in sugar, especially if you start your day off with sugar, you eat the food, it spikes your sugar levels up, because food is glucose, and when you're eating food that has a lot of sugar, it basically just spikes your sugar levels up, and then they decline rapidly. And what happens when they decline is you need more sugar to kind of lift you, because you're gonna have what they call a sugar crash. So your sugar levels go up and down and up and down and up and down, and that's exactly what's going to happen throughout the day. And you find yourself just constantly like grazing and being hungry for more sugar spikes. And so what you want to do instead is to eat foods that are high in protein and fiber. And I keep mentioning this because that is exactly what's going to regulate your sugar levels and keep you not feeling as hungry as often, and therefore keep you having healthier meals, because your sugar levels are just more controlled and you're not being controlled by them, but rather you are pacing yourself in the way that you eat and the types of foods that you eat. So that is a really good one if you want to stay on top of being healthy when it comes to food. The other really big one is mental health. And I speak about mental health like in passing a lot on this channel, but it's really important. Like, mental health is the driver of the things that happen within your life. So whether it be your health goals or any other goals that you maintain for yourself, if you are feeling in a bad space, like mentally, and you are kind of not yourself, it's unlikely that you're going to care much about other things. You're just going to be like, I'm just trying to get through, and you're not thinking long term. But if your mental health is like at a place that you feel okay and you feel like yourself, and when I talk about mental health, I also in that include your stress levels. So when your stress is really just rapidly out of control, it often triggers all of the hormones that are related to stress, like cortisol, and that will make you hungry. Cortisol makes you hungry, your hormones kind of run rapidly out of control, and you are just also not in a mental space to be thinking about, like, you're trying to put out other fires, you're trying to make yourself calmer. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you can find ways to manage your stress levels and you can find ways to keep yourself in a good mental space, it's more likely that you'll be able to maintain your health goals. So some of the things that you can do is practice routines. So having things that lower your stress levels. I emphasize a lot about keeping and maintaining a routine. So a morning routine, whether it's going to the gym. I like, even when I'm staying at a hotel, to still maintain the habit of doing my bed, and also opening the curtains, and also to just get into the rhythm of the day and not just be like, oh, I wake up just as my alarm goes off and I'm in a rush. But if I pace my day so that it starts off and builds up, it at least feels like I have the morning to myself. That really helps me. Another thing that really helps me is spending some time reading the word and just dedicating my day and inviting God into my day, asking God and submitting all of the things that I do to Him. The Bible speaks about that whatever you do it as though you're doing it for the Lord. And I really like just sitting and meditating on that in the morning and other scripture, in order to equip me and remind myself that, hey, I'm going into the day and I'm going strong because I'm walking with the one who holds my future. And not to get into preacher mode or anything, but I think that spending some time with God in the morning really helps me be able to have a full view of what exactly I'm doing. So whatever stresses come up during the day, I'm reminded of who I started my day with and who I'm walking with throughout the day. So that really helps me, and just having scripture ready and handy, available within my day to defeat all the challenges that I'm faced with. Probably something that I didn't mention at the beginning of this video that I should have mentioned is picking a hotel that you like. So I think in my previous vlog, I'd mentioned how I ended up at a hotel that I didn't quite like, and I just wasn't feeling too great about it. But this week I'm in a much better hotel, and the weeks following that I have been in a much better hotel, which actually helps a lot. Just in terms of like how I'm feeling. Like, it's not like, oh, I want to just go home. I'm like, okay, I'm settled, this is what's happening, let's get on with the day and let's keep our rhythm. And that is really handy. What I'll do at the end of the video is show you the room of the hotel that I ended up staying in. I was staying at Hampton by Hilton or Hilton by Hampton, one of the two, and it is within Blackpool still. So yeah, that was quite nice, and the stay there, the hotel is quite nice, newly built, much better than the previous one that I was in, and I think you can actively see how it fills me up to be in a better space as it would most people. But those are my tips, and what I hope you got from this video is that just because you're staying at a hotel and you are staying away from home for work or whatever the situation is, you don't need to ditch your health goals. You can just carry on with life, be flexible, adapt to the environment, and continue to live a healthy life, because it is about building healthy habits rather than rigidity and maintaining just like unrealistic expectations of yourself. Pro tip: ditch the scale, ditch things that measure your health. Just stick to the habits, stick to the routine, stick to the process. The outcome will come at the end. Don't worry too much about that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really like making videos like this. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and family. And hopefully I'll be making more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I just arrived in Blackpool again. You know the vibes. It's always Blackpool these days. But yeah, I just arrived, and the hotel, if you watched my previous vlog, I was going on and complaining about the hotel I was in. This week's hotel, a lot better views, the sun is out, happy vibes. I'm happy. Let me show you the room, and then I think I'm gonna take a stroll by the beach because the sun is still out and my room is just very enticing to the views. So yeah, I'm gonna take a stroll, but let me show you around. This is the room overview. Just enough space, and it looks very nice and bright, and I love the wall art. It adds a lot of character to the room, and yeah, that's kind of how it looks. It's got a bit of a seating area, so if you don't want to sit on the bed, you can just sit there. And it is the Hampton by Hilton. A nice kitchenette with some cupboard space, and I was very happy because they have an iron and it's working. And hanging area, I've already hung up my jacket, which looks very untidy. And a mirror as usual, and this is Sibu. Hi. And then this is the bathroom. The lighting is not too great in here, but it's got a very nice big shower and a mirror and more wall art. I actually love bright wall art. It's very nice. And a toilet as necessary.